I'm the Department of Wisconsin commander for the Disabled American Veterans, and that is a one-year term. I just was elected at this last state convention, and I'll tell you what, it's very exciting in that when you look at Disabled American Veterans, DAV, there's over 1 million disabled American veterans across the U.S. There's 1,300 chapters. Here in Wisconsin alone, we have 15,000 veterans, and we have 45 chapters. And to be that point person it's really an honor, and it's a privilege, actually a privilege of a lifetime. It truly is. So very pleased to be in that position and look at making a difference in the course of the next year.
We are working together.
Yeah.
We're traveling together, yes, across the state. Well, we say our tagline on all of our Facebook posts is always making the lives better for veterans, and it truly is what we're doing.
Yeah. And I think we're a pretty good team.
We are. We're a very good team. We are. So, I kind of have two different roles. So my role is the commander for Unit 17 here in Oshkosh, just to oversee our meetings and oversee our functions and oversee the work that we do to assist our chapter and to assist our disabled veterans. I'm also the newly junior vice for the state of Wisconsin with the Auxiliary. And in that role, my work is working with our juniors, working with getting our youth involved in our program.
When I reflect back upon when our journey began was it was January 2015 after the events of 9/11. We experienced, and I think that's really important for the viewers to hear, is that we experienced 5 deployments.
Yes.
And 2 of the deployments were to Iraq. 1 was in Afghanistan, and then 2 were to the Horn of Africa. And what basically ended up happening is the military medically retired me January 2015, and I'll admit I struggled that first year because so much of my time had been involved with the military, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
And a dear friend and a mentor, Doc Sunlightner, said, let's hit a DAV meeting. And we went together, and boom, we rolled, and then right after that, then you joined the Auxiliary, and it's been just a huge part of our life.
And, I have to say, Michael and I say this all the time, they've become family. Our DAV family has become our family. We spend a lot of time with them. Our goals are the same. We believe in the same thing, and we've all been through the same thing. So we spend a lot of time together, and it's just been wonderful. We always say it's like we've just gotten this whole new second family, and I don't think either one of us would give that up for anything now.
Yeah.
Mine was grateful that it was kind of over and those times of deployments were over, and Michael was kind of home safe. The hard thing was watching him struggle that first year and watching him transition back into just kind of normal life that had remained normal for the most part for me, but really not for Michael, and watching him struggle. So, and finding his way and his footing back in again into the community and stuff. And when DAV happened, it took off like a rocket again, and things became that camaraderie, and he had a mission again, and that mission was to work with these other disabled veterans, and we have been moving at lightning ever since, and to kind of share, I just retired a month ago, so Michael and I could be together to do this, so I could assist him and drive him places, and our journey, this new chapter for us just only began, but so far we've been really enjoying every minute of it. So,
and not to engage in like war stories and stuff, but I think to give you a sense, or to give the viewers a sense of what it's been like for our journey. In 2008, when I was in Baghdad, I was involved with the embassy, and where we resided was right next to the old embassy, which was Saddam Hussein's palace, and they were doing rocketing. And because of the nature of technology, Julie was able to watch rockets hitting in the area where we were assigned and located. And that was a really rough one for her. And so that's where, I know for previous wars, people might have got correspondence, but she actually was able to see in real time, attacks that were occurring. And so just as, service members obviously are stressed about an attack, but for the families that were living it too, so.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, one of the things to point out is just to kind of share with DAV. DAV actually started in 1920. We're coming upon our 100-year anniversary, and what had happened is World War II occurred. It was over there. The American public was very excited, and the war ended, and for a lot of mindsets, okay, it's done. But there wasn't a thought that, hey, we're having soldiers coming back, service members coming back, they're injured, they're hurt. And there was a captain, Robert Marks. He was seeing all of the things that were occurring across the nation. And this breaks my heart when I share it, but there were actually service members on street corners with pencils and tin cups begging for money, saying, I'm a disabled veteran, help me. And from there we began. And we are now a 503c4. We're a nonprofit. And we're chartered by Congress. And what that means is being chartered by Congress, once a year, our national commander has to go to Washington, D.C. and give a report as to where things are at in terms of veterans affairs across the U.S. So it's just a phenomenal organization to be a part of. And I'm very proud that we're able to be there.
Yeah.
So.
And then Auxiliary came 2 years later. So Auxiliary was then founded in 1922 and was brought together so that the family members of the disabled veterans could then go out and help the veterans themselves, and then the family members. So our mission in Auxiliary is real simple, and that is to support and help our veterans and also their family members and educate them and help them in any way that we can. So.
Family fair.
I think one of the things that'd be real helpful too is just how we work together is that of the warming shelter.
Yes. Yep.
And it literally, you had the chapter, the auxiliary,
Yep.
national, everybody worked together. And I don't know if you want to jump in with that one a little bit.
The nice thing with that is the national, DAV National, they gave us the backpacks that we needed with the DAV logo on it and sent T-shirts and different items of clothing in the backpacks to us. Then we got together in the auxiliary, then provided $200 worth of food cards and we kind of did some research here in town, and where would the best place for do our homeless veterans go, and where they go for meals? Where would these most benefit them? And then got gift cards for that. We also then went on a big shopping spree and bought them different type of toiletries that would benefit. We filled all of those backpacks together, and then as a group brought them to the warming shelters so they could then pass them out to the homeless veterans. It was wonderful.
Yeah, and it's a really good point, because when one may think of homelessness, they might think Boston, New York, LA. We have homeless veterans actually
here in
Oshkosh,
Oshkosh.
and that kind of surprised me. But again, chapter auxiliary working together, we're making a difference in the lives of veterans. So with the disabled American veterans, we are about service. Service is number one. We have the van transportation program, which many people have, if you've ever been on Highway 41 or anywhere else, all of a sudden, boom, you see the vans go by. To give you a sense, we've done, I believe we've gotten 34,000 veterans to appointments in the last year, traveled well over 900,000 miles. Those are all volunteers that are doing that. We're in community outreach. We do education. We have national service officers. In the last year, they had close to 12,000 claims and help veterans there. So that's our role. We're about service, and the challenge is sometimes people think of veterans as guys and gals drinking and telling war stories, and that's not what DAV is about.
No.
It's service to veterans.
We also will meet the needs. We frequently will be approached by a veteran or a veteran's family that's in need, that maybe ran upon some hard times, that just need some assistance with their electric bill, their phone bill, their rent, their car broke down. There's many different things, and through them working with maybe their local veteran service office will come back to us. We will frequently meet with these families, determine what the need is, and help them in any way we can, either with sometimes with money, with gift cards, with transportation, or just resources. So it's not only on the national, the state, but also our local levels as well.
One of the things I've always enjoyed that we've done too is like that DAV
King
days at
Yep.
King.
Yep.
And we will actually visit the nursing homes, the veterans
Yep.
nursing homes.
And we feed them and provide them with entertainment for the day, and they love it. They get to get out of the nursing home, and
Right.
they get to dance a little bit and get to have a Wisconsin traditional barbecue, and yeah, it's a good day.
We started in World War One. In World War One, those folks trusted the World War II service members and veterans, Korea, Vietnam, and now we're making literally a natural transition. So we definitely want to be able to do outreach out to the other service members out there that, hey, DAV, we're alive, we're kicking, we're doing great things. We have 45 chapters throughout the state. We've got a chapter wherever people live nearby. And also we have our state headquarters is just right in Green Bay. Our nationals in Kentucky, so we're very reachable. And plus we're also very engaged with all the social media as well.
And I think members need to know your disabled veteran may be a father, a grandfather, may not still be alive. That doesn't mean that family member, that granddaughter or
Yep.
whoever may still join the auxiliary. They are still eligible for membership, and we welcome them. They don't have to necessarily be a member of our DAV. So, they just need to have that service connected within their family to be able to join our organization.
Well, and I think you bring up a good point, though, too, because a lot of times in the past, auxiliary was kind of seen as like, the
Yep.
wife's club, but things have changed where all of a sudden, males and females are in
Yes.
combat.
Yep.
And
we have males and females in our auxiliary. So just like you have the males and female in the chapter, we have
Yeah.
them as well. So
That's a really good point. Too.
So, yeah. So it's a great organization to be a part of. So, hey, join DAV.
yep.
Kind of just speak from the heart. But, it's part of it as a couple. I think this has been kind of one of those vehicles that is, been good for us.
Yeah.
It really has
Yeah,
been.
it
It really
has.
has been. And so I'm just pleased to be with the organization. And I got the best partner in the world. So, yeah. So it's good.
Oshkosh Today is supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Healthcare, 855 Northwest Haven Drive, and House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard.